That's not good.
And his wife went away on the trip, and he was gonna put photos in there. He always talked to his daughter on the phone, and he saw a photo that made him wonder why his car was there, and he called all those people. And there was no other people in it, just who he talked to on the phone. And that could be a dinner theater. Yeah. You know, like they have before. I decided I'm gonna go to Bronx Street. Yeah, that really, you know, I kept thinking somebody's gonna come and knock on his door or something. No,
There. It can be seen.
Pat, did you go to Biloxi?
Hello?
No, Biloxi's getting moved to, no, the trip was canceled.
It was canceled.
Yes.
It's moved to May second.
Wonder if that's the same one I had on.
May second, I'm signed up for it.
Stranger? Delivery car?
Hello there.
Moved to May second. Yes, they didn't want to say.
What's that, name?
They want, they didn't want you to not get paid back. You know what I'm saying?
Got a crowd today,
Where'd
huh?
you get the new bus?
That's the same old bus it's always been.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's got feet.
Jessica twins today.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
I looked around the buffet.
So what happened to the same place?
Thank you, Bucky.
Hello.
I usually have to turn it off when I start.
Attention. Yeah, we make that opposite.
My fortune says.
You got your.
Day trip or?
Couldn't talk to Ed, you come in, huh?
Day trip?
Couldn't talk to Ed, you come in.
Yeah, it was recently.
We went to St. Augustine.
No.
Noisy.
He's shy, he won't come over here.
I know.
He did one,
Christmas lights.
then he went in
No,
the
I haven't done day
corner.
trips.
I think that church didn't do this, and then he was born, so I was like,
But there was only 2 nights like that. Chance.
Yeah, I got a little doggy at home that,
But it wasn't what I thought it'd be.
I got a doggy at home, so I can't do the.
Huh?
I said I have a dog at home, so I can only do the
Now,
day
didn't I
trips.
tell you that?
You can work.
I have a dog at home, so I can only do the day
What are you
trips.
doing here?
I just got done working, I was hungry.
That's why I won't get a dog. I want a dog, but
I'll let you know.
I'd rather travel.
Yeah.
Died, so now
and you said
I'm not tied down.
Yeah, mine will be 12 this year, so, you know, she's getting up there.
I just have that big
A couple weeks ago, I saw a March bus
shaker.
pulling into a Walmart out of Dallas Park.
Because I never have anything
Going
at
in
home.
there.
If I even.
Sometimes they use that as a pickup and drop off location. Or by the
So
water.
hi there, out there in TV land. This is Todd from Travel is Fun. We'll be starting the meeting in about 15 minutes.
They have Amtrak.
So look forward to seeing you.
Picking up people for that there now or not?
Yeah, they were out there at that shopping center on 110th, and
Yeah, oh yeah.
they're not there anymore.
Oh, they're not?
Amtrak's not.
Oh, they're not, so maybe they moved it.
Molly Maid is in that
Look,
place.
there's
Probably what So they used to pick up this all the time. There was Amtrak at the end, a
Right,
little diner and everything. Can't remember the name of that place.
Cozy Corner.
It's back here. They used to go in there and eat. The train, if the train was running late in Orlando, just go in there and eat.
I got somebody else in there. I think I got a couple of Luffies in there.
Oh, strawberry
Yeah,
beds. I'll be going to that.
Burger King.
I
on
like
that
those.
parking lot.
That's, you know, you walk around.
MB Grill. Seafood.
Yeah, we'll see. Have you been there?
Several times.
Oh, really?
And all the signage and things inside, real nice professional. Piece of shade. That's the guy about it. No, but he put some money into starting it up, I'll tell you that.
See, on the news this morning, there's a little restaurant. Diner over in Daytona.
Is that where we went?
It's called, Pops and Son or something like that. They had it for 45 years. And, a well-known chef. He has a lot of restaurants. He came in and bought it. And he kept 8 of the same employees. And keep most of the same menu. The guy was didn't want to waste
It's a trick question, knowing this guy.
Yeah, I worked over there in Tampa for 7.5, 8 years. That was about the 70s. It's been a long time.
Changed a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You ever been to Gail's restaurant?
Who?
Gail's, St. Pete Beach? It's right on the corner. You go down to Pasadena. Or the causeway. After left, go towards Don Cesar. Right on that corner before you turn left, it's on the right hand side. She's always got a little sandwich board out there. Yeah, their specials. We drive by all the time. My wife works on it. She drives by them. We said, we're gonna stop on there one of these days. We stopped at, and it's actually really good. It's just a little hole in the wall diner. The food was really good.
I don't get out and around. He's rolling up and down the beaches all the time.
And
working in
I
Tampa.
don't know who it is.
Take the kids all over the
They've been
place.
trying to get a hold of me, so I'm answering their call.
Where do you live?
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I just signed up for the lunch fund for the last. You're the only one I call.
I had her put my name on.
So, for months, I never called anybody. I don't know where somebody got my number.
Right on the border. Actually, it's 1 hour drive across the street and see.
Yeah,
Oh, Marina Jack.
yeah, 66 Avenue is
Yeah, no, but I
on the way out there.
I didn't know
Most of
she got.
66 Avenue.
Yeah, well,
A little weird border, but it's everything.
I didn't
I
even
signed
just
up
think
for,
that,
Pilot
oh,
Bay
I
is-
know
Yeah,
the
Yes, of
Broadway.
course.
True.
So I didn't even see the number. I should have, but I never thought.
St.
I
Augustine.
was on all days, got one call. The minute I leave for 1 minute, I got a call.
I called you around noontime. I give her a chance. I'm like, no, I called. And all the time.
Oh, I didn't.
I guess it was-
You wouldn't forget to.
I didn't get your call when I got
It was 10 days before the
Yeah,
run.
so I mean, the friend is-
Oh, yeah.
You were already left, you didn't answer.
No, I was home.
That was on, I remember what floor that was.
Yeah,
It was up
right
high.
around 12 o'clock.
Usually a ball.
So you
That is
didn't-
where I was outside.
Oh, well, anyway.
It was nice.
Okay.
That's the only
I
time.
thought, how could that break? I'm only outside for a minute.
It's been a while since I've been in Nashville.
Oh, I know, I went to jail, so neither. A bail.
Which one done?
Where's
First time I was at the state convention center was right down there.
There's a few of those things on
In
there.
fact, parking garage
Because the convention center was across the street from us.
So the other night I was sitting in my house.
Second time it's very big, popular.
And I went out and maybe around and listened to what it was. It was a house down the corner.
It's pretty
I
easy.
didn't put anything, I didn't put my name in here, then I have to figure
Well,
out.
so far, it's still going out west. Oh, and they are going to Nebraska.
He knows they don't believe that. But I do let it come here once in a while.
You ever sit through one of these all the way before?
Yeah.
Okay, man. Talked about, Buffalo once, didn't you?
No, I never got around to it.
Never did
It's a
that?
nice quiet neighborhood. There's a wagon wheel.
We were gonna do it in March and then COVID broke out. Never did it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully things bounce back now.
Well, I think that people are gonna start feeling a little better about getting out.
About 8 minutes to go, people.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I can't believe the folks out in TV land,
Just
just
saying.
saying.
Enjoyed out here, man. That was nice.
Nice to go for that.
Yeah, your temperature is important, folks. If you are ill, stay home.
How's deliveries today?
I was like a block from your house.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Haven't got in there yet.
I'm always hungry.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it pop in there. Somebody in there has something just about every day.
I was like, I could see your phone.
That's why.
I was on 26 now. And
I've only been thinking of
35th,
it.
right on the corner of 35th and,
Just around the corner from us.
30th. That's where I was today. From about your house, all the way across 49th Street. Down there.
A lot of good Christmas lights in there.
I'll tell you what. I had those around.
That's what I did.
I was like, man, please give me a good business. My next package up was public.
Yeah.
You can always swing by our
I
house.
wish
and
I
look at Jack's.
had
I got
You
the
know what,
card
I
back.
go at that point. I didn't have to go
away
with
all
that.
my stuff.
Put a whole assault in.
They got it.
That's the one bad thing about it.
And I was hoping I could even.
Most businesses are pretty good about
If they
it.
still can't even make that.
Publix is open.
I always go right to the
That's what
line
it
anyways.
was.
Publix says they're gonna have the COVID
When I
vaccine.
had that, so that's why I didn't.
It was on their answering machine when I called the other day.
Here? I thought they were just doing that in rural areas.
Well, eventually. Might be a little
All
while.
the pharmacies will have them later, but
Already delivered some vaccines.
I'll wait for Walgreens to have it, I guess. Put up with all the mess they're going through right now.
74, right?
Look at that picture.
19.
So that's my granddaughter playing a game my son bought.
I thought that was Wendy.
No, that's my son Christopher.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I got one here. 74. I always.
How old are you, about 18?
No, he's 28.
74, so 70.
I thought they were posing for a dentist.
Well, you put these things in your mouth and then you have to read what's on the card. And if your team can understand what you're saying, then you get points.
Is that you with the
It's
whole?
not easy. That's us. That's at Fall Creek Falls State Park.
It's like a photo bomb.
What?
Fall Creek Falls State Park,
Was that
Tennessee.
Florida?
Tennessee.
I see.
That's my boys down at the bottom of the falls. They had to hike all the way behind there.
Whoa,
Yeah.
up that rocks?
I understand that.
Where,
Yeah, some
rock
good hiking. Let's see, we got about 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes.
Didn't you say the Biloxi trip was canceled?
Jesse, how nice to have him join us.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't put that. Amelia, thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
That's January 20.
The radio.
Yeah.
I heard some other voice walking around. Turn the radio off, and once in a while you hear it again.
Ah, thank you.
Picked up this package and it says, to activate your phone, press 1. Or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck.
Last Friday was, mega ball, something, one of them things way up there. And my son played it, I said, well, he didn't get any right, I said, what did you learn? He goes, don't use, Chinese cooking. That's what he used, he had orders.
Yeah. You ready?
I'm gonna get another plate.
I'm gonna have you come up here and do this. You need a day off.
Can't do it with this uniform.
Huh?
Can't do it with this uniform.
Did you say somebody was fishing out
Jesse a job.
there? Oh,
Give Jesse a job today?
Jesse's moonlighting again.
The lazy llama.
Yeah, most I ever had at one time was 3 jobs. I couldn't last long. I had a job at Tyrone Mall, and I had one. Uh-oh.
72.
That was not in your fortune cookie. My mother does not dress me anymore.
My granddaughter, about 5 or 6 years old. I broke my fortune cookie up for
American dollar.
You're ugly and your mother dresses you fine. She looks at me and says, your mother doesn't dress you.
Oh, yeah. And Saturday and Sunday, I worked days at the Philly Hoagie Shop, which used to be on Cleveland Street, down in Learwood. And on Saturday and Sunday night, I attended bar at the Eagle. And on every day, I worked at Square T, full time. And I worked Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at electronics engineering tech.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You had 3 jobs now?
I did it for a while. Technically, I got 3 right now. I'm Scoutmaster, Cubmaster, and Travel is Fun.
That's right.
All right, almost time. I forgot to change my watch band. The thing broke off this morning.
Oh.
Oh, remember that one shift where we.
This is about as much of a full room as you can do right now. I have days before COVID, we didn't have this many.
Need to take that in account. When we went to,
We enjoyed
Bronx,
it.
and they put us in the storm, there was no social distancing whatsoever.
Where was this?
Coming back to Christmas, we went to Bronx.
Oh. At the restaurant?
Yeah.
but
It was a smorgasbord. On 14 Clearwater, on Oak Tobago.
Right.
And they put us in the room, and there was 31 of us, and they had 4 tables, no, 3 tables with 8.
They figure if you've been on the bus together, they consider that you've been in a bubble together.
I don't.
Yeah.
Number one, I won't let anybody sit with me on the bus. If that happens to happen, I will get off.
We'll do our best. Okay, gang, I got 1:30, so it's time to start. You guys ready?
Yay!
What was that?
Yay!
We got people at home listening. Make it sound like there's a crowd.
Hi, Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara Moore, are you out there? You watching? Hi. So welcome to Travel is Fun Tours, January 2021 Travel Club. Who thought 2020 could ever end? Who wanted it to ever end? Gosh, I hoped it would go on forever and ever. And we're going to commemorate some of that a little bit later. But we're going to talk about Travel is Fun Tours. I am Kennedy, and I am part of the Travel is Fun Tours team. So we're going to tell you about the trips coming up. We are a family-owned small business, as you guys all know. We are responsive to your needs. This is our family's entire income. So we want you to be happy, not just happy, we want you delirious and so excited. And we want you to go tell your friends that they're going to go too. We are fully licensed and insured, and that's a really important thing, especially in this day and age. There's a lot of companies that didn't make it through COVID, and some of them have taken off with folks' money. We have refunded everybody who asked for a refund for things that were canceled, and we have carried credits for everybody who asked for a credit. And we've been managing that all the way through. We will continue to do so. We have over 40 years of experience, well over a century if you add us all together. Dad's closing in on a century all by himself. Sorry, Dad. He ain't watching. Dad started doing this back when I was in diapers a long, long time ago. And we have up-to-date modern motor coaches, don't we, Jesse? If you don't know him, this is Jesse. He's our driver. And he came to join us for lunch today to do a report on me. So there comes the bus with Dad out front telling Jesse he's taking a wrong turn. We do a bunch of day trips every month. Lately, we've been doing 8 to 10 just to try and have something on the calendar. And we've managed to get anywhere from 2 to 5 out any given month between June and December. And we're going to have probably 4 or 5 make it out the door for January. We're going to tell you about all those. We do day trips. The day trips go all over the place: dinner, theaters, casinos, shopping, museums, whatever we can find that might entertain you. And we also do multi-day tours. And we have had some multi-day tours go out during COVID successfully. Have nobody come back and get sick, and nobody gets sick during the tours. We are taking all our precautions. We ask people to wear masks on the bus. We do sanitize the bus regularly during the trip and before and after the trip. So we're taking all the precautions we can. I don't think you can argue with our results. We haven't had anybody get sick. And knock on wood, hopefully that continues. We do have a travel club for those of you who would like to join the travel club. If you're at home, you can go to our website, TIFTOURS.com, TIFTours.com, and you can find the flyer to fill in for the travel club. New members are $14. Renewals are $10. If you get your renewal in the next week or so, you will get the January mailing. If you're a little late, you might miss the January mailing. I'll be doing the address labels for that in another probably...
Next week.
Yeah, next week I'm doing that?
Yes.
Ollie says I'm doing it next week. Just to point out, sometimes ugly rumors get started. For a while there was a rumor going around that you could not go on a Travel is Fun tour without being in the travel club. That is false. We're happy to have anybody. They don't have to be in the club. And then somebody also added to that rumor that it was $200 to join our travel club, which would not be great. I wouldn't do that to anybody. So, bottom line, travel club is not mandatory to go on our tours. You get a name tag, $2 off your trips, and a monthly mailer if you join the travel club. And everything in the travel club is available on our website too. Bottom line with Travel is Fun tours, the Travel is Fun experience means we're going to be friendly. We're going to have a smile on our faces, and we're going to send you home with a smile. We're going to be courteous. We want you to have a great time. If we have to adjust things, we will let you know in the most courteous way we can. We're informative. We do lots of homework and research. My dad sits back in the office and digs through books like he's a librarian back there. And he always comes up with a weird little fact of the day back there. That's my dad. We want you to be comfortable. Jesse does know how to work the heater on the bus now. We did have a trip where he hadn't used it yet on that particular coach, and it was snowing in Louisiana, so we had to scramble to make sure that that was working. Most of all, you're going to have lots of fun because you're with great people like the folks in this room. So we got our Where in the World contest. Does everybody have a little yellow slip that's here to do their Where in the World? Okay, winner's going to get $25 off of a tour. I'm going to show a picture of a place we have been before. And if you guess the right answer and write that on your yellow slip, you will win the $25 off your next trip. If you don't know, that's okay. Make sure your name's on there, and we may do a drawing if nobody gets the right answer. And don't yell out the answer if you think you know where this is. So here is your clue. Ollie, you got it? You sure?
I've been in there. Unless it's all changed on me.
That's not the door to Ollie's house, by the way.
I should be so lucky.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys stare at that for another couple seconds. And we are gonna mosey on along and start talking about the upcoming tours, because that's what we're here to learn about, is what is Travel is Fun doing right now. So highlights of upcoming trips. The rest of January, you'll notice the sheet you picked up. January is not on there. If you do get the sheet off of our website, the website is formatted differently. It does have the rest of January on the sheet that's on the site. So the upcoming trips, next week, Marina Jacks. Ed and Carl say they're gonna go.
Yeah.
So that's an,
I just paid today.
excellent.
Do they have
Okay.
mimosas?
Do they have mimosas on Marina Jacks? I think they can make you a mimosa.
All right.
Carl, will you make sure he doesn't fall overboard? I'm gonna need leashes for you too. So January 19th, we're gonna call that a go as of today. Looks like we got enough people to do it. I could use a few more. So if you would like to go on Marina Jacks, it's a beautiful little cruise on a gorgeous yacht out of Sarasota Bay. We're gonna get to go see where the statue of the sailor kissing the nurse, also known as Unconditional Surrender is the title of the work.
All right.
They moved that because I guess there were too many accidents where they had it. So they moved it over closer to Marina Jacks, according to Buffy.
No, they moved it because they're doing some road work.
I like my story better. January 21st, next Thursday, we've got Lunch Bunch. That's going to be at Bob's Train. That'll be one to remember. And if you don't know what Lunch Bunch is about, we celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, and we get a little silly and have a great time. Bob bought these trains. These are retired trains from the Ringling Circus. So they are decorated with a lot of circus memorabilia and pictures. So it should be a really good lunch.
Where's it at?
It is in Sarasota, sir. But you're not driving the bus, so why do you care? If Jesse falls asleep, then we'll have you drive the bus. Okay, January 24th to 26th, that's a Sunday to a Tuesday, if I remember right. We're going to Amelia Island and Fernandina Beach. That one is locked in and going. We've got 30-something people on that bus, so that's a pretty good, solid trip. Yeah, finally. And Wendy and I will be escorting that one. January 27th, you see the red marks there. Happy Days at the Broadway Palm. Fonzie and Potsy and those guys are sad because nobody's signing up to go see them. So if you guys would like to go see Happy Days the musical at the Broadway Palm, we just did a show there for the Christmas trip, and it went real well. No big problems. They've rearranged the seating there. They've got the food handling figured out, and they do a great show. January 29th, I don't have too many on the Columbia with the flamenco dancers either. So again, if you want to do that one, round up some friends. Wild Florida, however, that is selling real well. We're going to go to Wild Florida. I've already got enough to go as of today. And
They sell themselves.
yeah, it's a great place. They have a new attraction. They've got a drive-through safari. So we're going to take the bus through the safari when we get there, and we'll do it again when we're departing, so you can see all the critters. And while you're there, they've got some different venues to get some lunch. You could pay, I think it's $40, and you can do lunch in the alligator enclosure with the alligators, watching you eat. Carl, are you passing on that?
Yeah.
You can also go in the enclosure with the porcupines or the sloths or a bunch of all different kinds of critters. You can get up close and personal with these animals.
Is there gator nuggets in the gator pond?
What's that?
Is there gator nuggets in the gator pond?
I think they actually did have gator nuggets on the venue. I'd have to look to be sure, but I'm pretty sure it was on there. January 31st to February 2nd, we got Miami, Fort Lauderdale. That one's kind of floundering. I've got, I think I'm in the high teens on that, like 16, 17. And that's almost enough to go. If we get another half a dozen on there, that would be solid and would be heading out the door. So that's the rest of January for you. Since that's not on your sheets, if you have any questions about that, that should answer most of those questions. So jumping into February 5th, we're going to go see them horse races at Tampa Bay Downs. That one's pretty light too. So if you would like to go see horse racing and go see horse racing before that is taken off, because they just closed Derby Lane. There's no more dog track, and horses can't be probably far behind. So if you'd like to go see some horse racing before that is gone, it's a great place. The food is fantastic, and I love watching the races. You've got the option of sitting inside and watching the races through the windows, or you can go out to the stands and go right down to the track and watch them there. Oldsmar Flea Market, we got enough people to run that already, so that's going to go. And that's kind of some neat history on the flea market. It actually started as a storage space. And the guy who owned it came out there on a Saturday, and he found a whole bunch of the people who were renting his storage units had the doors open and were doing flea market stuff out of their storage units. So he decided to get a cut of the action and turned the whole place into a flea market. It doesn't have a lot to eat there, so we're going to do a short lunch break, probably at a McDonald's on the way out there. They do have some snack bar stuff too. So if McDonald's doesn't do it for you, you should be able to get a bite to eat at the flea market.
Oh, they got plenty.
February 11th, we've got the marvelous Wonderettes. Again, I'm not sure what it is about the dinner theaters. There seems to be some resistance to folks going to dinner theaters lately. The dinner theaters have all changed to served meals, so you don't have to worry about doing the buffet table. And they've changed their seating, so it's everybody's spread out. So there shouldn't be a real problem there. They're doing a great show called The Marvelous Wonderettes. It was called the Show Palace. Now it's called Suncoast Broadway, if I remember correctly. And Wonderettes, it's a cotton candy-colored nonstop pop musical blast from the past. The Marvelous Wonderettes take you to the 1958 Springfield High School prom as we learn about their lives and loves. We are treated to the girls performing such classic 50s and 60s songs like Lollipop, Dream Lover, Stupid Cupid, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, It's My Party, It's in His Kiss, also known as the Shoop Shoop song, and so many more. So great show, and those of you who like the adult beverages, they've got light up glasses, so you don't lose that in the dark. That's kind of handy.
Yeah, light up drink. Wow.
I got Carl sold right there.
Yeah, all right.
I knew I would get Carl. February 14th, we're going to do Valentine's Day again on the Calypso Breeze that goes out at John's Pass. Neat little boat. That's actually the sister ship, the Calypso Queen, but they look about the same. They've got included wine, rum punch, beer, and soft drinks. And you're going to have a tropical style luncheon with salads, chicken, pork, beef, fish, pasta, rice, veggies, bread, and more. And how much more could you ask for? We're also going to have some Valentine's goodies for you to put you in the Valentine spirit. Even if you don't have a Valentine when you show up, maybe you can take one home. Who knows? Right, Carl?
That's right. Right.
Is that
Then
going?
Carl will be dressed as Cupid for the day.
Todd, is that going?
I'm going with
So far, it's looking good, yeah. February's lunch bunch, February 18th, that's going to be at Alfano's up in Clearwater. Great little Italian restaurant, really, really good food. You guys will just enjoy the dickens out of that. And a nice big restaurant. They're not huge at lunchtime. We show up kind of early, so we shouldn't be crowded in too bad. The Florida State Fair, you notice the slide skipped that. They bumped that into April. So if we can, by the time the mailing goes out this month, if they have the April dates locked, we'll pick a date and put it on that calendar that we're going to mail out. Let's see, did lunch bunch. February 20th, we've got Till Theft Do Us Part. And that's at the Off-Broadway Palm Dinner Theater. Now, they have actually changed the Off-Broadway Palm Dinner Theater. They've gotten rid of this locked-up theater seating that was bolted to the floor. And they took all that out, and they've got more comfortable, regular kind of chairs in there that can be moved around some. So that's kind of different. Same food that you would get for the regular shows at the Broadway Palm. And this is an all-new comedy telling of Winston Johnson. He's an investment banker who gets fired. He didn't have the heart to tell his wife, so he resorts to being a thief. When his conscience gets the best of him, he goes back to the homes he robbed to return what he stole. Doesn't sound like a very good thief. His outings cause his wife to be suspicious, so when she tries to catch him in the act, his life gets turned upside down. So that is Till Theft Do Us Part, February 20th. Then we've got another little 3-day trip, the Space Coast Adventure. Day 1 is going to be a little unique on this one. Usually we just go out to Cocoa Beach to Titusville and get checked into the hotel, maybe have a nice dinner. Well, we're going to leave a little extra early on day 1. We are going to go to Cocoa Beach and we are going to pick up a step-on guide. This is a young lady who lived her whole life in Cocoa Beach. Her dad worked for NASA, and she was raised around Apollo and Mercury and all those programs. So she knows where the astronauts hung out. She knows all the stories. She's going to hop on the bus and take us around Cocoa Beach and show you where all these things happen, which will be really fun. We're going to start and end at the Ron John Surf Shop there. Give you a little bit of chance to do some shopping. Get in the store that you see all the billboards for all over Florida. So if you want to pick up a little souvenir there, you can. We've got a real nice hotel. We're at the newly renovated Best Western Space Shuttle Inn, and they've put in a Beef O'Brady's attached to the lobby. And you'll have a great dinner there if you want it. Again, historical tour of Cocoa and the Ron John. Day 2 will be a full day at the Kennedy Space Center. I'm trying to work in a little treat for you on day 3. Before we go to the Victory Casino cruise, there is one other museum I don't think we've ever done out there, and it's on the Air Force Base next to the Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral, and there's no cost to it, but we've got to make reservations. So if I can work out the scheduling, we're going to go spend an hour or so at the Cape Canaveral Rocket Museum as well. One of the things, I don't know about you, but I'll be excited to get a look at is they've got one of the original bottles from I Dream of Jeannie. Remember Barbara Eden? Yeah.
She's still in it?
I don't think so. But she's still a fine-looking woman. If you didn't know, I'll give you a little bit of trivia about I Dream of Jeannie. Anybody know where they got the bottle to make for her Jeannie bottle? Okay, it's not well known. It is actually a 1964 Jim Beam decanter that was kind of a limited edition. If you go on eBay, you can actually get that bottle still. If you're good with a paint pen, you can make it look just like Jeannie's bottle. So that's kind of neat. There are actually people out there who make a lot of money converting the bottles into Jeannie's bottle and selling them. And they're very authentic looking. Anyway, we've got a full day on the Victory Casino cruise, and then we'll get back home on day 3. February 27th, we have a mystery tour. I'm going to take you someplace you've never been before, and it's going to include a very nice lunch, a real nice lunch, and it'll have an opportunity to do a few extra things that are not included but are co-located with where we're going. Is that too much of a clue? Good.
Is it out of the Bay Area?
What's that?
Is it out of the Bay Area?
You will cross a bridge. How's that?
Yeah.
It is a little ways away.
Okay.
It's not right around here.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the end of February. So I think it's time to review 2020 a little bit and bid adieu to one of the most exciting years we've ever had. So back in 1914 in this newspaper called The Commonwealth, this guy wrote, a scientist prophesies that by the year 2020, the inhabitants of the world will all be insane. I think he called it. I think he's got it. Here's another news story for you. It says, monkeys have entered their own stone age and are evolving just like humans. If you haven't seen it, great documentary on this called War for the Planet of the Apes. So, You know, if you don't have 8-proof locks on your house yet, you might want to look into that. Here's a great news story that came in November towards the end of the year. Dead mink infected with a mutated form of COVID-19 rise from their graves after mass culling. So if you don't know this meme here, this guy, he's taking bets on the end of the world. So he's saying, who had zombie minks for December? And then if you guys around Christmas time, if you saw the Christmas star, Jupiter and Saturn are about to do something not seen for nearly 800 years. The event last occurred in 1226. And here's everybody waiting for 2020 to be over already. And I don't know if giant conjunctions of stars and planets is a great thing for the end of the year. A little nervous. You probably are too. And then, yeah, actually it wasn't all as cracked up to me, was it? And then any fans of Gremlins here, let's end 2020 with a bang, huh?
He's cute.
He is cute, but don't feed him after midnight. He's not as cute then. Okay, March 2nd. This trip is going to go. You guys called my bluff, so now I have to actually do all my homework on Snell Isle and do the actual research. I will do a great job for you, though, but we're going to find out about the houses there.
The biggest thing I wonder is why all them rich people buy in a flood zone?
Because they can.
When these trips cost us a go.
Yeah, that was on January 4th, but we're going to try that again, I think, in June. So that is coming up. We're going to have a nice lunch at Doc Ford's. They got a great menu planned for us. You'll have a little free time to explore the new pier, and then we're going to take a drive. Jesse and I actually did a reconnaissance on this on our bicycles months ago and rode around, so I know that the bus can get in and out of most of these places because Jesse's already looked at it. He won't yell at me this time. And it was partly his idea. So March 4th, we're going to go back down to Moat Marine Laboratory and Aquarium down in Sarasota. We're going to give you about half the day there. They've got nice restaurants on site. And then we're going to visit a brand new museum we haven't done before, and that's the Crowley Museum and Nature Center. It's a little smaller, so we only need an hour, hour and a half there. But you'll get to experience old Florida. They've got the old drugstore here and a bunch of other stuff for you to see. Now, March 6th, we've had a big change of plans, March 6th. Some of you I know are excited about this. We were supposed to be going to Ruth Eckerd Hall for the doo-wop reunion. Ruth Eckerd Hall has flushed most of their calendar all of a sudden. So just as that was happening, we found out Andre Rieu is going to be at Immokalee Arena March 6th. So we've got a reservation in on a bunch of seats for you. If you would like to go see Andre Rieu, if you don't know much about him, if you're on the computer, go on YouTube, look him up. You can see his concerts. He brings an entire orchestra. He brings beautiful dancing girls in gorgeous dresses. And he's the king of the waltz. And he's from Vienna. He plays the fiddle, but he also conducts that orchestra. It's a fantastic show. And he does how many encores? A lot.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah, you will not feel cheated when you finally walk out. You might be feeling, okay, it's ready. I'm ready to go home now. But he does a great job, and we're excited to be able to offer that to you. Where am I? St. John's Rivership is coming. That's on March 7th. And that's when we do 2, 3, 4, 5 times a year. But it's a great trip up the St. John's River on the Barbara Lee. And they do a really wonderful job. The food's great. They do some nice narration. And a lot of times you can see some great wildlife along the shores there if you're watching. March 8th, so far the Strawberry Festival is still on track. We're only going to do the one date because they're not going to have headliners this year. They will have local entertainers. There'll be lots of free entertainment. There just won't be the big concert that costs you a ticket to go see. So you can still go watch the pig races, get you a Krispy Kreme burger, and corn dogs and all that other good health food. Broadway Palm on March 13th. We're going to go down there again. Fantastic food. They've got cocktails, all that stuff. They've got social distancing set up with the seating. The food will be served, and they're doing the story of Emilio and Gloria Estefan called On Your Feet. And it's an inspiring story about heart, heritage, and two people who believed in their talent and each other and to become an international sensation, Gloria and Emilio Estefan. This exhilarating musical follows their incredible journey from anonymity in Cuba to stardom in the United States. Great songs in this. You're going to hear The Rhythm Is Going to Get You, Conga, Get On Your Feet, Don't Want to Lose You Now, Coming Out of the Dark, 1, 2, 3, and more. So that should be a fantastic show for everybody. Where am I? March 18th, we got the Lunch Punch. That is going to be at a unique little restaurant down in Sarasota called Made. What makes Made a little different is they locally source all of their food for you. So all of the vegetables, all the meats, everything in there is locally sourced and very, very fresh. So it's a little more expensive than your average lunch punch because they're a little higher, but should be worth every penny. And again, we'll celebrate birthdays and anniversaries for those May babies. March 20th, we've got the Mount Dora Spring Craft Festival. Again, we'll be watching to see how that goes. The fall festival was canceled because they couldn't get vendors by late March. We hope we'll see a lot of vendors out there and folks on the streets of Mount Dora and great food and restaurants out there. They'll have food vendors on the streets and they've got all the regular restaurants open too. We're going to do St. Augustine in Jacksonville, March 21st to 24th. This is why Jesse showed up, because he really wants this trip to go, and I'm going to tell you why. We're going to get 3 nights at the Sleep Inn, St. Augustine Beach. That's where you usually stay when we go to St. Augustine. On the way there, I've got it planned. We're going to stop at the Daytona International Speedway, and Jesse's going to do his qualifying lap in the bus on the track. So those of you who haven't noticed, the bus does have seat belts. I strongly recommend you belt up for that lap, because when he gets up on the sideboards there, that could be rough. We're also going to have a day in Jacksonville with a tour and dinner. You're going to get to go on the St. Johns River, not the same St. Johns River boat that we do down out of Sanford. This one goes around the city of Jacksonville under all the bridges. It's a really good tour and a lot more. I've got surprises, all kinds of surprises for you on this trip, assuming it goes. We do need some more folks to sign up for that one. March 25th, we're going to go see those Herman's Royal Lipizzans, and that's down in Sarasota. That'll include a lunch on your own, so it doesn't really include it, does it? It's going to have a lunch stop at the Cracker Barrel in Bradenton, and they're going to put on an afternoon show for us with the Lipizzans, and they're really excited to have us because they haven't been out touring. They haven't had a lot of people coming to visit, so they're thrilled that we're going to come.
Yeah, they were on TV yesterday morning.
Were they?
Yeah, and she said, we can't wait to get you people back.
And she was talking about you guys, because I just talked to her not that long ago. The Dade City Kumquat Festival, usually that's in January. That got bumped into March, and it's a great festival. It's one of the best organized festivals you'll go to. You get to go see Miss Kumquat. You can see the antique cars. You can buy all kinds of goods and items made with kumquats. What are kumquats, by the way? It is a small citrus fruit. It originated in the Far East and was brought to America. They actually grow all over. I find them all over my neighborhood in the Harshaw area. If you see the little orange things that fall on the sidewalk that nobody's doing anything with, those are the kumquats, at least in my neighborhood. But it's a really cool festival. You'll get a kick out of it.
What do they taste like?
They're fairly sour if they're not treated with something. They turn them into wine and jams and stuff, but they use a fair amount of sugar or something to make them a little more palatable.
And you just put the whole thing in your mouth.
You could.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
I've done it. They're kind of bitter.
Yeah.
Citrusy tasting with a bitter kick.
We used to try and get my son to eat lemons at dinner, though, off the salad. He would do it. So you never know. Different tastes for different folks. We're going to do New Orleans in March. That's going to be the 27th to the 31st. Getting to make up that New Orleans we had to cancel last year. This will not be with Diamond Tours. They are not scheduling anything till at least fall 2021. Picture the new seating for that, but it's a great show. Get ready because Nana is back. If you loved Nana's Naughty Knickers, and who doesn't, you're sure to love this hysterical sequel. Nana has taken a gamble and moved to Las Vegas with her sidekick Vera. After Nana gets an offer she couldn't refuse, she and Vera begin making costumes for the hottest show in Vegas. What could possibly go wrong? Well, everything. And again, fancy food, socially distant seating, and cocktails available. So back to reviewing the year 2020. Just to put a smile on all these faces. So when God was planning the year 2020, he had an angel intern. So here's how the conversation went. God says, did you finish arranging future events for the 2020s? Angel says, yes. Wait, did you say the 2020s? Plural is in the whole decade? God says, yes. What did you think I said? 2020 the year? God says, you put 10 years worth of history in 1 year? And the angel says, kind of, yeah. And there's the look they give each other. You can't argue with that. We had at least 10 years of history last year. Looks like 2021's trying to keep up. Okay, you can spin your wheel. Here's a few of the choices on the wheel for 2020. One of the red boxes, water faucets disperse venomous spiders. That would be great for 2020. Election cycle extended. Great. Carpets replaced with Lego bricks. Casablanca remake starring Nicolas Cage. Actually, Wendy was in favor of that. I don't know. Dream where you're naked in public, but it's real. Let's see, what else? Chocolate outlawed. That could come up.
Oh, no.
Groundhog year. Alcohol disappears forever. Some of you guys will get this Star Wars Holiday Special 2. If you don't remember that from '77, good for you. It was horrible. So anyway, that's a couple of the things you can look forward to. I thought this one was pretty funny. What would your face look like if at midnight a few weeks ago the clock did that, and instead of going to 1/1/2021, you got 13th month, first day of 2020. You would all look just like this poor guy. John's doing the face really good.
It almost feels like it.
So last October coming up, the aliens were going to invade. They're nervous because they've got a big axe to follow. And back in December, the young lady's saying, Mom, killing 31,000 people would save the same amount of oxygen as planting 20 million trees. And if you're a Harry Potter fan, that's Hagrid saying, I should not have said that. Because back at the beginning of 2020, maybe that seemed like a good idea. Okay, jumping into April. I'm going to kick off April 1st with a really exciting day. It's my anniversary, April 1st. And that's where we spent our honeymoon. So we're going to drag you guys to Bach Tower with us. And it's a beautiful place. It's going to include a very nice lunch. It is open gardens, open grounds, so plenty of walking you can do there. You don't have to be near anybody. You can get as far away as you want. I get real far away. I take the trails out in the extended areas. And they've got the chimes going during the day. April 5th, we're going to do the Seminole Immokalee Casino. Should be on the back, I think. So the Seminole Immokalee Casino, that'll just be a day trip. You'll have a chance to get some good gambling in, win a bunch of money. And they have great restaurants there, real good food. April 10th, we're going to go over to this, and you'll get to do a tasting and a tour there. April 13th, we're going to go see, in March, we're going to see great big Lipizzan horses. So in April, we're going to go see the mini horses. And they were terribly excited that we're planning to come see them. The mini horses have not been able to go out for their shows, haven't been able to do a whole lot. So they are just excited as can be to go see you guys. We're going to include a very nice lunch at Der Dutchman with that one. Lunch Bunch in April. I forget.
Oh,
Was that you who? Was that your suggestion, Safety Harbor Spa? No? One of you guys suggested Safety Harbor Spa. And I was able to work out a nice meal plan with them.
oh, I didn't put my name.
So we're going to have a very good meal at the Safety Harbor Spa. We're also going to have a surprise visit to a real interesting little house out near Safety Harbor, and it's called Whimsy Land. And it's an artist's retreat. They've got cars and things outside that they've turned into art projects. And it's actually featured in an interesting little movie I watched with Wendy the other day. And it's got Alan Cummings and who played the secretary in Ghostbusters? And 6.5 feet tall. So he's very tall for coming from South Korea. And he wants to learn about the United States and just ends up hanging around with a lot of very strange Southern American characters and learning about our culture, such as it is. Cute movie. I think you'll get a kick out of the clips we show, and you'll really love the lunch and the visit. April 17th, we've got Bronx Tale at the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater, and this is Chaz Palminteri's story. It's actually based on his life story. It takes you back to the stoops of the Bronx in the 60s, where a young man is caught between the father he loves and the mob boss he'd love to be. If you know Chaz Palminteri, he's been in a lot of mafia kind of movies. Bursting with high-energy dance numbers and original doo-wop tunes, A Bronx Tale is an unforgettable story of loyalty and family. The streetwise musical is based on Academy Award nominee Chaz Palminteri's story that the New York Times hails as a critic's pick. The kind of tale that makes you laugh and cry.
Can I say something about Safety Harbor real fast?
Yeah.
If anybody's, afraid of buffets during this time, I've been to the Safety Harbor Spa for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. They're really, really safe. They have plexiglass around all the buffet, and they serve you. Like, you tell them what you want. They're masked and gloved, and they put it on the plate for you. So it's very, very safe if anybody's concerned.
Yep, I'm sure they'll do a fantastic job. And hopefully by April, a lot of you guys have had your vaccinations by then. I know we're pushing to get Dad through his. That should be done. There we go. We've got Chattanooga coming up. This is selling already real well. We're in the mid-20s already. And we're going to go up to, the corner of Georgia, Tennessee there. Got 10 meals included. It's a 6-day trip. You got 3 different train rides. You're going to have a dinner cruise on the Southern Belle on the Tennessee River. And you're going to get to visit Ruby Falls and Rock City Gardens. And I'm going to try and escort that one with Wendy because I've never been to Ruby Falls and Rock City Gardens, at least not since I was this big. So I would like to go. April 24th, we're going to go down to Arcadia. You remember the old commercials, better than a moving picture show? It's the Arcadia Rodeo. So we're going to head down just for the day and enjoy the youth rodeo finals. That'll be taking place that day. We're going to give you plenty of hours to hang out and watch these kids compete. And they're going to have food trucks and food vendors set up so you can get a nice lunch while we're there. April 28th, we're going to do Homosassa Springs. And now Homosassa does have a few restrictions. Not everything is currently running. We hope they open up some more things by late April. That's one reason I put it so late in the month. But fingers crossed, and we're going to have an included lunch at the Duff's in Clearwater. And that should be really yummy. They got great food there. Then finally, April 29th, they're doing Mamma Mia at the Suncoast Broadway Dinner Theater. Again, that used to be the Show Palace. And if you haven't seen Mamma Mia, where have you been? It's all based on the music of the European rock group ABBA. And it's a story of a young lady named Sophie whose mom gave birth to her in the 60s. And so being the 60s, nobody knows who Sophie's dad really is. So she invites the top 3 suspects to her wedding to try and figure out who her dad really is. It's got great music like Super Trooper, Lay All Your Love on Me, Dancing Queen, Knowing Me, Knowing You, Take a Chance on Me, The Winner Takes It All, SOS, and of course, Mamma Mia. Okay, one last bout with 2020, and then we can put 2020 in the rearview mirror and see what excitement 2021's got for us. Off of Facebook, I ain't seen no 2021 is going to be my year posts yet. Y'all scared, ain't you?
No.
No? They're getting ready to take over the world. If you log into a website, you ever seen that little box where you got to click in the box to prove you're not a robot? Somebody has trained a robot to click in that box and defeat the CAPTCHA. So the robots are coming to take over. So here's some history for you. This is kind of interesting. In 1939, Australia had bushfires. 1940, they had the cancellation of the Tokyo Olympics. And in 1941, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. So in 2018, France won the World Cup. 2019, we had Australian bushfires. 2020, we canceled the Tokyo Olympics. What could we possibly be getting for 2021? The guy in the cartoon says, oh yeah, it's coming all together.
Scary.
Here you go. Here's Kermit's prediction for 2021. The Bermuda Triangle starts roaming the earth like a giant Roomba. I can see that happening. And this guy's name is Ritesh Guru. Everyone is hoping 2021 to be normal. Meanwhile, the embodiment of 2021 waiting for everyone. If you can't see, he's got a giant tire iron, and he looks kind of threatening to me. Finally, the end of the world is coming in 2021. Prophet, who said it was 2012, was dyslexic. That's the face he made. Okay, a few more things to wrap up. We're going to do a Biloxi. Dad just got this one put together. Basically, we took the one that was supposed to happen this week and moved it into May. So it's a Biloxi Getaway. You're going to stay at the Beau Rivage. You're going to get to see Biloxi, Mississippi, visit a bunch of casinos, and of course, you got the world's best driver and tour guide with you. The Grand Canyon's coming up. That one, we're in the mid-30s with folks on that one, so that's going real well. And I'm working on making sure all the little arrangements are fixed from last September when we bumped it. 26 meals included, so you won't starve. And it's 16 days. We get a full day at the Grand Canyon, including the IMAX movie and a step-on guide for the whole day. We got guided tours in all kinds of great cities like Austin, Santa Fe, Oklahoma City, Dallas, Texas, and a bunch more. We're going to see the Petrified Forest, the Napa Museum, South Fork Ranch from Dallas, the Cadillac Ranch. I got a picture of Jesse defacing the Cadillac Ranch. You vandal, you.
I was standing on it, I wasn't defacing.
Well, if you say so. Wendy's going to help you deface it because she's got spray paint and paint pens ready for you. We're going to see Oak Creek Canyon, which Dad actually says is prettier than the Grand Canyon, and much more. And this one, did they bring you sheets for Branson yet, Ollie?
No.
Nope. Okay, they're still working on it. They are sorting out, I think, one last hotel. So there will be a flyer for this in your next mailing. Branson coming up in June. That'll be June 8th to 15th. He wants to combine that with some stuff in Savannah, and Savannah is still locked up pretty tight, so we're not having much luck there. We were kicking around for September, maybe going up northeast, maybe somewhere near Niagara, where we go around Georgia and follow where the 101st Airborne Division prepares. Yeah, well, and during normal times, sure. The Mystery Tour, February 27th.
Come on.
Where is it? It's not quite half full. So it's going for sure.
Okay, we have tarpon. You want to talk about tarpon? Tarpon. Something about tarpon you want to talk about?
Thank you. We had a tour that was supposed to be happening, I think it was tomorrow, to see James Songster, the really great magician, and that one kind of fell apart on me. So he would like to do this show for you guys. He really wants to. And his request was that we try and get it in Tarpon Springs. So I was in Tarpon Springs on Saturday, and I asked the management at Hella's if it would be okay if I had a magician in there in bunnies. And they said, okay, so coming up in May, James Songster, Magic, food, Hellas, a little bit of shopping time, and a trip to Tarpon Springs. So that is going to be coming up. And what was the other one? Oh, Cirque. Wendy and I also did some reconnaissance with Cirque du Soleil Drawn to Life show. First show is supposed to be February 10th. So I'm holding off on adding it to the calendar. We're going to put it on in May. So I can, before I commit to put, I want to see them get one show done, which time works out perfectly. Jesse, do you have a question? No. Jesse doesn't have a question because Jesse knows everything. Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Barbara. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
She chickened out this year, right?
No, she's coming.
Oh.
She's going to get it again next week. Okay, so it is time for Where in the World? So,
I don't.
I think that's a tough call. I think we're going to have to do a
Uh-oh,
blind drawing.
Have him do it.
Have Jesse do it?
Yeah.
Okay, Jesse, pick one. We have two of you that got the right answer. Two winners.
That's the prices.
Okay, Jesse picked.
$5.
It was a very tough call, Barbara. Barbara got the other right answer. So we should give Barbara a treat just for being that good.
I put Dora.
So Dark says that was so tough. Ah, that might have been. Who's looking at their sheet? 10th? 10th of February. That's the date that they're doing the first Cirque du Soleil show. So 10th of February. And I got a couple other things. Let's see. I have a very nice donation from Buffy. So we're going to get that. Where's John Garcia? John, you got some chocolate. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Don't we do the $25 off on our receipts this month?
That is this month.
Yeah, because last month you
Okay.
told me it was this month.
We're going to do it in a second.
Thank you.
Dark chocolate.
Okay. Travel is Fun tour.
Meals.
And just to remind you, it doesn't have to be a receipt from Travel is Fun days. You could come here during the weekend or another day. There's a check in there.
There was. It's over there. It's for Marina Jacks.
Oh.
I'm glad we didn't do it. Something
I don't want to throw that out. We'll be back on February 10th, and go get those shots. Everybody get.
You know, we had a favor of it. They broke down and they didn't know.
Yeah. See you next week.
Yeah.